From LALATE News headquarters in Santa Monica, this is Mornings LALATE.
It's a big morning for Mornings LA. Incredible great news about your fourth stimulus check update of 2022. In today's recording, the breaking news is that the fourth stimulus check has now landed in every U.S. state. I'm going to show you how to get it. It's huge, incredible news. And over this wall, for contrast, we're going to go over the not one, not two, but many different checks that have landed in every U.S. state. You heard me right. Direct depositing of fourth stimulus check has now been happening in every U.S. state. I'll show you how to get it. But first, you want to become a member. Go to the top of the channel, pin comment. Become a Purple Hawk, Purple Power, or a Cal, so you know VIP, and get that incredible newsletter Monday through Friday, 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. In today's recording, we're going to go over the latest breaking details about the Build Back Better Act. Breaking details happening minutes ago. We'll go over what's happening with Jay Powell as that Federal Reserve wraps its two-day FOMC meeting for May tomorrow. Are we heading in recession, or are we solving inflation? All the latest details in today's recording. Then we'll be turning to the incredible items at issue for SS300. Will Jay Powell be reducing that inflation too quickly, or will Joe Biden make that swap on time? Then we'll be turning to the incredible details of student loan debt forgiveness. We have breaking news today about six stimulus. And then we'll be turning to what's also going on with the economy and how it impacts your wallet. Stay to the final minutes of this video, because in the final minutes of this video, I have new commentary about the new checks and what you need to know and how you can pounce. Meantime, we'll be looking over to what will be anticipated tomorrow as the Federal Reserve speaks and what's being anticipated today. The bacon's bacon, and the toast is toasting, and the butter's butter. It's Mornings LA. We're live on air from the shores of Santa Monica, California. I'm excited you're here. I'm excited there's a fourth stimulus check in every U.S. state. I'm excited for you to become a member. Go to the top of the chat and pin comment and become a member today. Stay here, stay ready, stay to the very end as a big new broadcast of Mornings LA gets underway from the shores of Santa Monica, California, starting right now. And good morning, everybody. Hope you're having a good day. It is gorgeous here along the coast of Santa Monica, California. Happy for you to be with me on a live broadcast of Mornings LA. If you haven't become a member, make sure you do. The links at the top of the channel, the pin comment. Why must you become a member? Because a fourth stimulus check has been landing now in every U.S. state, and I'm going to show you how to get those checks. They're all featured in the newsletter Monday through Friday. But first, we're going to start with the Build Back Better app, because we have a lot of major news about that today. And the latest details we're going to start with, of course, is the White House. White House Insider says that Joe Biden will be getting the Build Back Better Act done quickly. Back on focus to get it done. Negotiations underway with Joe Manchin, Kristen Sinema once again. The elements at issue for Build Back Better Act is that the U.S. economy is stalling. Corporate America is making less money. Inflation's out of control. Recessionary pressures on the horizon. And all that bad economic data helps you. Why does it help you? Because when there's bad economic data, it helps people give you money. Let's look at the situation today. The situation today is the gross national product, how big this U.S. economy is shrinking. We are at 6.9% last month. We're supposed to be 7.1%. We may have shrunk about 2% since that reading. And then by the end of the year, where we're heading to? Wall Street says 4%. White House Insider now says 3.7%. I say 0, because I say we're going to recession for 2 years starting in January 2023. And that recession would mean that you would see 0 or negative growth starting in January of next year. The Federal Reserve will be meeting today and tomorrow for that FOMC meeting, and which it determines what to do with this U.S. economy. But let's make sure you understand what's at issue. The Federal Reserve is only fixing inflation. Jay Powell is trying to fix inflation. Joe Biden has to fix everything else. What's at issue? We have supply chain disruption. First off, supply chain disruption coming out of the pandemic. We have supply chain disruption because of Russia invading Ukraine, and we have supply chain disruption because of China. And that is causing corporate America to make less money. They have less money, then they pay you less money, or they lay you off. And if the U.S. economy shrinks, then people have less money to spend. That's what's happening. The economic data is not good. 65,000 new farm payroll jobs missing, the GDP missing, inflation tracking hot and higher, and we're not done there yet. Mortgage rates out of control, 5%. U.S. housing market, 4 consecutive months down. Data is bad after bad. But let's take a look now to what Jay Powell is doing with that FOMC meeting, because his data overlaps with Build Back Better Act. The Build Back Better Act does have an inherent date at the moment to vote on it by Memorial Day weekend. But what's at issue is that there's not only bad economic data, not only weakening corporate America earnings, but the U.S. economy is stalling up, and this is all the need of what Joe Biden needs to fix. Can Jay Powell fix any of that? No, he cannot. Jay Powell's job as head of the Federal Reserve is only to fix inflation. And what is he going to do? Well, today and tomorrow, he's going to announce a half basis point increase at the May FOMC meeting. We already knew that. Why? Because he told us that last month. That's how the Federal Reserve works. They give you guidance ahead of time, so you know what happens. But when he addresses the American people on Wednesday at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, actually 2:30, after the FOMC meeting wraps at 2 p.m., he will give us guidance on what's happening thereafter. This is where it gets really interesting. Why? Because of your SS300. Joe Biden becoming president of the United States represented he was going to swap your COLA for inflation. By doing that, you would get more for money for benefits every month. Let's go over the equation right now. Your current benchmark is COLA. It doesn't work, and COLA came in at 5% last year. It raised your benefits up 5%, but you got cheated because it should have been inflation, as Joe Biden promised. Inflation would have raised your benefits up $200 more per month, not just that month, not just that year, but lifetime, because once your benefits go up, they never go down. If Joe Biden made that swap from COLA to inflation today, what would happen? You get $200 more per month. What about after the FOMC meeting where Jay Powell on today and tomorrow raises those interest rates a half basis point? Would you still get 8%? Yes. What about later this year? This is where we have a lot of breaking news right now, right today. The breaking news is that I had told you that inflation is tracking about 8+% right today, and that's going to about 4% later this year when Jay Powell says 1.9%. Some analysts today think that we could have sustained 8% inflation for many, many months to come, maybe even by December. Excuse me? Okay, so breathe there. I almost choked. Breathe there. This is good and bad for you. First, it's bad to have inflation at 8% sustained for more than a few months. That's what we already have. December, January, February, March, April. What if inflation sustains itself at 8% by the end of the year? That is really tough on you when you go to pay for things like gas or food. Now, on the backside, it would raise your benefits up a lot. Let me go over the calculation for you. Because you get reassessed every time that they apply that benchmark. If the benchmark's inflation in December, you get reassessed again. Let me say it even simpler. Your benefits would go up $200 a month right now if Joe makes that swap from COLA to inflation. And then if inflation's 8% in December, not 4%, that would be another $200. That would be SS400. Don't do a victory lap about SS400 because that would mean you would also have very bad inflation at the supermarket. So it's a balancing off. But this is what's new today. What's going on is that Democrats and Republicans understand there's a date, and that date is the midterm elections. The date is the midterm elections, and they need to get you something. And the midterm elections is not November. It starts months earlier because mail-in ballots are done 90 days ahead of time. And they need to get you something ahead of time, which means they got to agree upon a Build Back Better Act or something like it by May. And to do that, they have to do something. But who's the they? This is where it gets interesting. Democrats are the party in control of the Congress. If they don't get a Build Back Better, if they don't get anything done, they're out. No one's going to reelect them because they're in control. They got you nothing. Now, if they get it done and they get you something, they're going to win in the midterm elections majorly because the point of the Republicans saying, they got you nothing, we got you something. On the other hand, if the Republicans watch the Democrats get you nothing, the Republicans will win dearly. Now, what's the way that they both protect themselves? Doing something for you in bipartisan support together. And I think that's what's likely going to happen because I don't think any of them can risk the equation. The equation of the American electorate wants to see something from whoever's running from office, not a talk, actually a walk. And that's why you're likely to see a bipartisan passage of something very quickly. Additional support for forced stimulus. Notice that adverb I just used, or adjective? Additional. Forced stimulus checks are now landing in every U.S. state. This would be additional forced stimulus checks from the Build Back Better Act. And remember, those additional checks from the Build Back Better Act are huge sums of money. These additional Build Back Better checks are across 3 clusters and 3 add-ons. They have in there that second cluster things like home repairs that have been, paid leave, home repairs have been removed. They have in that first add-on, that second add-on, $250 billion of free home health care. They have that third add-on of MSC. They have that third cluster of checks, seniors and free internet for all checks, farmers checks. They have that second add-on, the $225,000 for purchase of first home. They have the first cluster of checks, the hazard pay, the $4,000 of elder care. There's a lot of money. How much is there? Oh, a lot. Upwards of $15,000 to $80,000 in Build Back Better Act. That is in addition to the checks that are already law right today. The great news across the board is that the economy right now is not doing well. Corporate America is not doing well. And there's a midterm election. So it's all the equation to get you stimulus. But let's go to another part of the equation, which certainly starts in just 48 hours from now. That is that FOMC meeting for the Federal Reserve. What is Jay Powell doing, and what is Wall Street analysts saying about that? He's trying to get down that inflation. He's trying to get down that inflation. What is he doing? Well, he's trying to raise interest rates. There's a lot of new analysis today. What does that new analysis say? Well, it first says that when you look at the situation, he's definitely going to do a half basis point this week. He already said he's doing that for May 2022. What is he doing for June? This is where it gets interesting. I had said he's doing 50 basis point, half basis point, this meeting and the next one. I thought that most analysts were going to agree with me. Now some say maybe he'll do a quarter. Quarter? No, he's not going to do a quarter at the next one. There's no way at all. There's 5 more meetings after this one. Some analysts think he's going to do 5 meetings a quarter. It's never going to happen. And if they're thinking that way, they're going to get shocked when he does half. Now, on the other side, there's some analysts saying he's going to do 5 meetings of half. That would be a little bit too aggressive. Now, here's what everyone is saying. You can't project, you can't predict September, October, because it may be very, very, very bad for this U.S. economy. Because he may come in too aggressively, Jay Powell, and send you in recession. He may come in with a lot of half basis point and send you into recession. By chasing inflation, and as I said earlier in this video, he does not have the tools to bring down inflation. With supply chain disruption 1, 2, and 3 coming out of COVID, Vladimir Putin, and the third one, which is China, if you can't get that supply chain disruption under control, then all you get is higher interest rates and still have inflation. Higher interest rates would be higher car payments, higher credit card debt, higher student loan, and then you still have inflation. That is why the potential of a hard landing is looking very problematic at the moment. Now, let's bring it back to the basics. The basics are you're good for SS300 because this inflation is not coming down. It ain't coming down that quickly, certainly not in the next 30 days. So if Joe makes that phone call to Social Security and swap that COLA for inflation, you'd get additional $200 more per month this month. And by the end of the year, I think it's still going to be at least 4% inflation. So that's another $100. That's SS300. You are good. What about Build Back Better? I think you're good there as well. Now, the interesting part of this equation is that you don't have to wait for anything about Build Back Better. You don't have to wait for anything for SS300. You don't have to wait for anything. Is what you can do right today is you can go in and get the big money that's available right today. And that big money that's available right today starts with the big checks that are now available in every U.S. state. A forced stimulus check is now available in every U.S. state, and this is huge, and I'm so excited for you. A forced stimulus check is now landed in every U.S. state, and I want you to go get it. How do you get it? It's coming up after the commercial break. Become a member. Go to the top of the channel, the pinned comment, become a member. Purple Hawk, or Calcino VIP. Then get that incredible newsletter Monday through Friday. After the commercial break, we're going to go over each of these incredible checks that have landed in every U.S. state. See at the very end because I got more money later for you. And then we'll be going over that student loan debt forgiveness. Great news on that front. And we'll be going over to 6 stimulus. It's a big recording. We're just getting started as the toast is toast and the butter is butter. And a fourth stimulus check is in every U.S. state. I'll be back with you in 60 seconds. As Mornings LA continues, are you ready? I'm ready. See you back in 60 seconds as Mornings LA live on air continues from the shores of Santa Monica, California. With that big money, the big excitement, stay with me. But first, here's a little bit about the members community page as Mornings LA continues. If you want money right now, not 5 days from now, and not 5 weeks from now, then reach out to the community page. The volunteers can help you find that money for rent and utilities. That's at news.la.com/community. The community page features a series of volunteers who are viewers like you. They can help you find rent, utilities, SNAP, food benefits, mortgage assistance, and help you with eviction moratorium questions as well. Their Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram individuals reach out to them and indicate the city and state you're from, and they'll get back to you shortly. That's a community page. Volunteers working for you, viewers helping one another. Stay with LA for more. Join LALATE Daily for the excitement of the new LALATE live daily. The excitement starts on Mornings LALATE at 9 a.m. Home LALATE returns at 11 a.m. daily. And then afternoons LALATE at 1 p.m. Join us daily as the excitement continues live from Santa Monica on LALATE. Timing continues right now on Mornings LA, live on air from Santa Monica, California. The great news is the fourth stimulus check is now landing in every U.S. state. And I'm going to go over all the incredible details of how to get that check for you in the second half of this video. But first, I wanted you to become a member. Go to the top of the chat in the pinned comment, become a Purple Hawk, Purple Power, or Calcino VIP. Then get that incredible newsletter Monday through Friday at 7 p.m. via the YouTube alert system. I'm so proud of you as a viewer because yesterday, the viewership of this channel really passed class number one. You passed class number one, LALATE 101. What is LALATE 101? That is when you understand the first step for the equation. You understood and repeated back that a fourth stimulus check is available in every U.S. state. If you can repeat that back and understand it, then you've passed LALATE 101. People were in the live chat and they were repeating it back to one another. And it's incredible, great news. If you're new to this channel today, then look at the screen and repeat it back to me. A fourth stimulus check is now available in every U.S. state. Once you got that understood, then we can take it to the next level. And the next level is then going over each of those checks. Let's go to LALATE 202. It's going over what each of these checks are. Check A is the first check. Let's go over check A. And what do I want you to do? If you're a member of this channel, bring out the membership newsletter in front of you and follow along as we go over these checks right now. Check A is a fourth stimulus check now in every U.S. state. It's a $6,500 to $12,000 check. It's a fourth stimulus check available in every U.S. state. And that fourth stimulus check is wonderful. The income qualification is single individual, $75,000 or less. Married couple, $150,000 or less. It is the homeowner's weatherizing grant check. And how do you get this incredible check? First, you become a member, Purple Hawk, Purple Power, Calcino VIP. Then you get that newsletter Monday through Friday. You go into the newsletter and you go down to check A. How simple is that? You just go down to check A in the newsletter. Then it gives you the link. You click the link to go get it. Go get it. Bounce, Purple Hawks. You go in there and click the link and you go get it. It sends you to the state, to the national website. Then you choose your state like Tennessee. Then you choose the Tennessee Homeowners Weatherizing Grant Check. All these instructions are in the newsletter and you get it. Average payout is $6,500. It starts at $6,500, but it goes up to $12,000 in some states. This is a fourth stimulus check. Yes, it's paying out to SSI and SSDI. Viewers on benefits have gotten the check as well. Let's go to check B. Even easier. This is a fourth stimulus check. Check B is a fourth stimulus check. It's in every U.S. state. It's $15,000 to $80,000. That fourth stimulus check has the same income qualification. Single individual, $75,000 or less, you get it. Married couple, $150,000 or less, you get it. This is the homeowner's grant check. How do you get this check? Just almost like a check A. You go first into that membership newsletter. You go down past check A until you land at check B. Then it gives you the links. You click the links and you go right into apply. You apply and you go into the national website. You'll see a map. Then you choose the state, your state on the map. Let's say your state is Alabama. Then you choose the state and you go right in and apply. And then you get paid. How simple is that? It's so simple. Check A in every U.S. state, check B in every U.S. state. Let's go to check C. Check C is in every U.S. state. That check C is absolutely incredible. It's $2,000 a month for over 12 months, but viewers have been getting this since early 2021. I call it a check. I call it a fourth stimulus check. It is really the residue, the leftover third stimulus, but let's go over what it is. First, it's incredible monies for rent. Let's look at the monies for rent that viewers have got on this channel. Whoa, that is incredible. Then it's monies for utilities. Whoa. Mark's brother-in-law got $15,000. Then it's money for SNAP. It's money for combos of all those items. Here's Nisi. She was at 23. She went up to $50,000 approximately. There's Mark. He was at 32. He went up to 50, then to 100, then to 166. Here's Lorraine. She was at 105. Now she's at 120. So how do you get this check C? Very simple. Your phone, your newsletter, and your voice. You're going to pick up the phone and contact your city hall, your city house authority, your county hall, your county house authority, your state hall, and your state house authority. Also, you're going to reach out to the 6 or 7 nonprofits that are in the newsletter. And you're asked for rent assistance because of COVID, utility or mortgage assistance because of COVID. 3 things you must do. You must reach out to all the 15 places if you're a member. Next, you must put multiple applications on file. And number 3, you must try to get as many months as possible. Viewers in recent days are getting 12 months. Just incredible. That is check C. A lot to digest there. No worry. It's all in the newsletter. You go right into that newsletter and it repeats what I just said to you on camera. You go right into that newsletter, go down to check C, and it goes over what to say, who to call, how to say it, and how to pounce. So simple. That's why you want to become a member. Get that incredible newsletter Monday through Friday, 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Let's recap what we've done so far. Check A is in every U.S. state. Check B is in every U.S. state. Check C is in every U.S. state. Okay, you ready for check D? Check D is a fourth stimulus check that is in most U.S. states and will be in many more, but is not in all of them just yet. Check D is a fourth stimulus check that is in about 24 of the U.S. states and will grow to about 40 of them. But that is the current landscape right today. What's going on in your state? It's all in the membership newsletter. It says what state is paying out when and how much. You go in there and learn about this incredible check. Now, I'm so proud of you. Why? Because viewers yesterday really passed LATE 101. They repeated back to me for LATE 101 that there's a fourth stimulus check in every U.S. state. You got it. You understood it. You repeated it back to other people. There's a fourth stimulus check in every U.S. state. There's a fourth stimulus check in every U.S. state. Then we started yesterday and, of course, today moving into LATE 202. You can see a lot of this on the Use LATE tonight. LATE 202, which is, okay, now that you understand a fourth stimulus check is in every U.S. state, can you say what the checks are? Check A is a fourth stimulus check in every U.S. state. Check B is a fourth stimulus check in every U.S. state. Check C is a fourth stimulus check in every U.S. state. And check D is in many of the states, not all of them, but will be in more of the states thereafter. Pretty good. If you can repeat that all back, A is in every state, B is in every state, C is in every state, and D will be in almost all of them, but it's about 24 states now, then you've passed LATE 202. What's LATE 303? LATE 303 is applying for one of these checks. Some viewers yesterday did not wait. They went right into the advanced mode. They went to the advanced class. They went right in and they started applying. Because I've been telling you for a while, you got to apply. You can't wait. You got to get that application on file. Because the first come, first serve, the money's going to run out. Viewers yesterday in the live chat say, hey, I applied for A and B. Good. You've passed the first version of this LATE. You've passed LATE 101. You passed LATE 202. You know what the programs are. And now you're at LATE 303. You've applied for a check. What is LATE 404? LATE 404 is almost sort of the last example, where you don't just apply for one check, you apply for 2 checks, or 3 checks, or pick up the phone and ask for those 3 checks. That is what viewers have been doing, and I'm proud of those viewers who have really jumped forward and gone along with that. They understand there's a check everywhere, they understand what the checks are, and then they've gone out and gotten the check Not one, but two. That's the landscape of where we are today. The landscape is where we are today also is the telling news that came in from Paul Tudor Jones, who is a billionaire hedge fund manager. He says, you can't think of a worse economic environment than we are right now for financial assets. Ouch. He says, clearly, you don't want to own bonds or stocks. And I think it's a very difficult time for capital preservation. I think it's most important that we strive. I think it's be one of those times that you want to try to save money, but it's going to be difficult to save money. So he says he needs you to be saving money. It's also going to be a difficult time to make money. They got inflation on one hand, referring to the Federal Reserve, and they got growth on the other hand, and they're going to be clashing all the time. The situation right now is that student loan debt forgiveness has some great developing details. First, the president has forgiven student loan debt. This is 7 stimulus for individuals who became disabled after graduation, went to work in the nonprofit sector, the public sector, and then for individuals who became disabled after graduation. Next, the president has taken student loan debts that are in default and put them in good standing. Thereafter, the president of the United States is taking the debt and clearing it, forgiving it, if it was procured by fraud by the university against you. Whoa. Meantime, the president says he's going to determine the final round of the student loan debt in the next few days. I think he's going to do about 10,000. He said no to 50,000. Well, I'll be on top of this, and congratulations to incredible viewers like Chef John Meyer, who got that student loan debt forgiven in the last few days. Finally, 6 stimulus. Well, major developing details on that. I'll have more about it on the Evenings LA tonight in prime time at 5 o'clock. Don't miss it, 5 o'clock, the major show tonight, is that the European community is looking to close in on a deal to ban Russian oil finally. How they're going to do it? They're going to give a waiver to Slovakia and Hungary, or what they call an exemption, because Slovakia and Hungary says they can't do the deal. They have nothing to get instead of the Russian oil. So the EU says, we don't want to hold up the deal. We want to do the deal. So we'll just give an exemption to those 2 countries for now. And when they get us something else to offer the Russian oil, then they can sign up for the deal. Isn't that a great idea? I love it. Here's what you need to know as we go into a big morning. First, a forced stimulus check is landing in every U.S. state. Second, that check is check A. That check is check B. That check is check C. And then many of the states, it's also check D. It's available for you to get right today. And how do you get it? You become a member. You go to the top of the channel, the pinned comment, Purple Hawk, Purple Power, or Calcino VIP. And get that incredible newsletter and go right in there. After you become a member, next up, I want you to subscribe and then hit that little bell at the front of the channel so that you have notifications set all to on, so you don't miss a notification when the newsletter comes out. Coming up next is 11 a.m. is Home Allied. Oh, it's going to be a good show today. And then we got Afternoons 1, Afternoons 3, and a brand new Evenings LA at 5 o'clock. From the shores of Santa Monica, California, from my home to your home, and get these big sums of money. And report back to me by Evenings LA that you became a member and you pounced. I'm so excited for you. So excited for all this incredible money. From the West Coast to the East Coast, from the North to the South, go get it. This is LA.